Rich Lowe, Pilot Legacy, on site of the Stanton, Lockhart, Texas, with our October 2023 investor update. Well, since September, we've had a pretty significant change in weather. We've had a great deal of rain on and off all month, and it's quite cold and windy here today, not to mention it's starting to rain a little bit more right now. We're overcast at 40 degrees with winds out of the north at 25 knots, gusting 40. Aerial shots were a little challenging today, and I thought my fingers might fall off out here in the wind, but we got her done. And since we're now moving into colder weather, I've ditched my straw hat. I know how disappointed all of you must be. I've gotten so many rave reviews on my straw hat. But with its seasonal departure, I'd like to send a shout out and a big thank you to one of our Stanton investors and former naval aviator, Blaine Rock Tompkins, for my Air Armor Tech hat. Thanks, Rock. Well, since last month's update, we've successfully poured the foundation for Pad 10. Pad 11 was supposed to have been poured last Friday, October 27th, but due to the rain we had all last week, that pour has been delayed. However, during the mid part of the month, while it was dry, we were able to commence the driveway pour at the northeast corner near Pads 8 and 9 and extending westward around the north end of the property. In the weeks ahead, the pour will continue westbound and around the property back towards Pad 11 and eventually connecting the western portion of the driveway loop back by Legacy Senior Living. Looking at the time lapse over the past month, you can see evidence of the rain in early October, followed by the commencement of the driveway pour during mid-month. And as a fun side note, during our last OAC meeting on the 19th, while we were all out walking the property, I just so happened to look at my phone and see the time change from 12:09 to 12:10. Being one with my time-lapse camera and knowing that our time-lapse camera takes a picture at 10 minutes and 25 seconds past every hour, I said, "Hey everybody, wave to the camera, it's about to take our picture." But before anyone knew what I was talking about, the moment was gone and the collective group shot was missed. But yours truly did manage to get his hands up in time to send to each of you a little time-lapse camera, how you doing? Timing is everything. I am disappointed to say that we still haven't poured the second portion of Pad 7. There are two reasons. Number one, there were some post-tension cables that broke during their final tensioning after the foundation was fully cured. It isn't abnormal for that to happen, however, when it does, those cables need to be replaced. The post-tension cables themselves have a red plastic sheath around the cable strand. The red sheathing is anchored in place within the cured concrete, allowing the cables to be removed while the sheathing stays in place. The broken cables will be pulled out and a thinner but stronger replacement cable will be pushed through the sheathing to replace the initial broken cables. Once that is done, the end anchors can be set and the post-tensioning of the foundation will be complete. Number two, there was an oversight by the electrical contractor, Blue Bonnet Electric, on the amount of electrical conduit that needed to be laid along the eastern edge running northbound between Building 6 and on the southern edge behind Building 7. That said, additional conduit still needs to be laid. Once all the post-tension cable repairs are completed and the additional electrical conduits are in place along the eastern edge of Building 6 and the southern edge of what will be Building 7, the final pour will be accomplished. In the days ahead, the existing driveway between Building 5 and 7 will be extended northbound to connect the newly poured driveway that was poured earlier this month. The excavation and grading of the detention pond is complete, except for the extreme northwest corner of the pond. Bentonite clay has been moved to the east end of the pond in preparation for distribution and sealing. Upon a close frame-by-frame inspection of the time-lapse, I did notice that the pond did collect quite a bit of water during the days of heavy rain we had earlier this month. But you'll also notice that it didn't take long for that water to soak into the surface beneath it. And this is precisely the reason for the bentonite clay application. It's our desire that the pond retain water for irrigation and other purposes. Well, since our last month's update, we've incurred an additional $23,200 in change orders comprising electrical conduit and design changes I just mentioned, as well as a minor wastewater manhole design revision. This brings our total approved change orders up to $211,902 and our total updated contract amount to $23,051,622. To date, $4,554,246 has been drawn, with October's requisition totaling $555,093. As of today, October 30th, 2023, we are 34% of the way through our scheduled timeline. Finally, looking around the neighborhood, you can see that nearly all the asphalt paving, as well as the erection of street lights in the single-family development next door, is complete. I spoke with Axia's Chief Project Manager, Dave Burdall, earlier this morning, and he told me that by this time next month, we'll be going vertical with the framing of Stanton Phase 2.
He's going vertical, so am I.
We'll see you here next month after the Thanksgiving holiday with a much different looking development taking shape here at the Stanton Phase 2. And now it's time to get out of the rain. To date, $4,554,246,000. 5 and 7 will be extended northbound to connect with October's requisition total. Man, my phone's ringing. It's kind of distracting me a little bit.